Hey folks, hope everybody's doing great today. I just got finished reading an email from one of the companies that I advise, and I was just filled with joy reading it. This person communicates so well. Every 2 weeks, I get an email in my inbox. It's an update on how they're doing with their business, and it just brought me so much joy. I thought I would share with you the importance of communicating with your key stakeholders, in this case, investors. So if you're a change the world entrepreneur or founder and you're running a business, especially in these kind of weird, wacky times, or if anything's going on in the marketplace that's a big disruptor, you're going to want to over communicate with your key stakeholders. So I thought I would come to you with my ideas around how to really make sure you're communicating well with those key stakeholders. Number one, starting off with kind of a good financial dashboard view. If you've got 3 or 4 KPIs that you're working on, for me, I like leading indicators and lagging indicators. Lagging indicators like revenue, leading indicators like engagement or new product placements. Those kinds of things are some good leading indicators. More on that in a different blog. But whatever that financial picture is, if you can get it into a dashboard, especially with some trend lines or trends, growth over month over month, year over year, but also the real hard numbers as well. Quick financial dashboard in the email. And then 4 key questions that I love to get answered. One is, what has me excited? So what are the 3 or 4 bullet points? It just has to be bullets. What has me excited? Bullet, 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 bullet. It's a good opportunity for you to brag about what's going on with your company. Number 2, what's keeping me up at night? So there's things you're concerned about. Bullet, 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 right? It's important to keep your stakeholders engaged, and this gives you an opportunity to maybe plant a seed of something that might happen down the line so that there's absolutely no surprises, which is the cardinal rule here, no surprises with your key investors or stakeholders. Number 3, the priorities. What are your 4 or 5 priorities? In this case, I would like a numbered list. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Doesn't even need a lot of detail. Priority 1, priority 2, priority 3, priority 4. That shows me as the investor that you've got your act together and you know what you're working on. And last but not least, how can you support? I love that section because there might be just a sentence or 2 on, hey, I could really help. I could really use some help with an introduction, or I'd really love for you to look at my new deck. It's attached. If you can get back to me in the next 3 or 4 days before my next big meeting, something like that. Ask your key stakeholders to be involved and to give you help. That's why you've got them as advisors or board members or stakeholders, mentors. Ask them how they can help. So number 1, what has me excited? Number 2, what's keeping me up at night? Number 3, what are my priorities? And number 4, how can you support? Very easy along with the financial metrics. Now, in each of those areas, if you can support it with KPIs, if there's real numbers, it brings more meat and clarity. So if you're really excited about a key account that's really exploding, how much are they exploding? 10% or 150%? That helps me as an investor really get a sense of things and put some perspective. So share KPIs or numbers, or really beef up those bullet points, even though they're bullets, not paragraphs. Key points, boom, 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 easy. And then schedule it in your calendar. For me, it's ideal every 2 weeks. 1 week, maybe not enough to talk about, but at a minimum every month. You've got to get into a cadence and a rhythm with these communications so that your key stakeholders really know what they're doing and how it's all, that you're on top of it, that you're communicating with them, and that you value them enough to communicate with them in this way. So schedule it in your calendar every 2 weeks, every month, and make sure you make that commitment to communicate and over communicate, especially in odd times. All right. Hopefully this is helpful. Let me know how you communicate with your stakeholders. Talk to you guys soon.